Hi, today I wanted to run through some of the jargon that's used in your Xero software, just really to help you to gain a better understanding of what you're actually doing in your software. Of course, the better understanding that you have of your software and what you're doing when you're entering things in there, all serve to make sure that your accounts are as accurate as they possibly can be and reduces errors. So popping over then into the actual software, one of the main areas of confusion that I see a lot that creates errors is the lack of understanding between whether you're matching something in your direct bank feed or you're categorizing. So if, for example, you've entered a purchase invoice into your software already, that is accounting for that expense. You're telling the software what you spent, how much you spent, when you spent it, what you spent it on. That transaction is now accounted for. On the bank feed, once the payment comes out of the bank, you simply need to match the payment to that invoice that you've already entered. If you instead categorize that transaction directly into the software, you are creating a new transaction and therefore duplicating what you've already done. Although it's a different way of doing it, you've then told Xero in two different ways that you've spent that money and therefore duplicated. So it's really important to have an understanding and really think about, is there something in Xero already that you need to match this transaction to, or are you categorizing it directly from the bank feed? So if we just pop over to the quick launch icon, then we can see the sort of jargon that Xero uses. So invoice, sales invoice, and fairly straightforward. A bill is commonly referred to, a lot of the providers refer to purchase invoice as a bill. And as we just talked about, if you enter either an invoice or a bill within the software, when the payment comes through, either in or out, depending on which one, then you must match to what you've already entered. Only categorize if that is how you are wanting to account for that particular transaction. And that is absolutely fine. You don't always have to create a bill. It's all about whether you want to, be able to track that supplier and what you owe to them. So, for example, if you have a monthly account where you have several invoices throughout the month, or you have terms, even if it's just one invoice, and you want to be able to see that you've incurred that expenditure because you're not going to pay it straight away, then you would use the bill. If it was, perhaps you bought some fuel that was a business expense or something in a shop and you just paid for it straight away, then you might just prefer to categorise direct from the bank. And either's fine, but it has to be one or the other, no sort of mix matching. Looking down then again to spend money, receive money and transfer money. These are all ways of putting transactions onto the bank account manually. So if you don't have an automatic bank feed, then of course you will need to enter all of your transactions manually. If you have an automatic bank feed and you've already entered the spend money, the receive money, or the transfer of money onto the software, then again, once this comes through the bank feed, you must match it to the transaction you've not already entered, not create another one. So of course, any duplications, or if you enter a bill and categorise, then you're going to find when you're reviewing your reports at the end of each month that you've got creditors, invoices on the creditors report that have actually been paid because they're in effect duplicated. So as long as you're following all the processes and you're reviewing everything regularly, if any of these things do slip through, then they should be identified fairly quickly, and over time you'll become more confident and more comfortable, and hopefully this will help, and hope that it will help to make your accounts more accurate. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Goodbye.